Hey guys, welcome back to some more Fire Emblem Heroes content. Today, we're back looking at the Double Special Heroes forecast. It's been a while, because I got really busy in the last couple months. I was doing all sorts of stuff. I was working, I was traveling, I was playing Pokemon Reborn on my other channel, which you should check out by the way if you're interested. My other channel is called Lupisaurus. But anyway, we've got a lot to catch up on, and we've got some upcoming banners to predict, so let's get into it. The last time that I made a prediction was back in August. I was predicting that banner in that month as well as the upcoming months, and those predictions I made back then are just going to be what we roll with because I didn't refresh my predictions at any point. So I always like to look back at my old predictions to see how we did, and so we can adjust accordingly. There's a small error on this graphic because I already grayed out the units that were on the August banner. And speaking of the August banner, I predicted that down there, and that was mostly correct. The only thing I was wrong about is that they actually ran Hector instead of Ursula, and that does stick out to me as being kind of interesting because Ursula was way ahead of Hector in the lineup, so I definitely would have expected Ursula to run instead of Hector. I have a theory for why this happened, and there's some other information later on that kind of supports this theory. My theory is that there are some 5 stars. So these are the 5-star units that are not 4-star focuses and they're not duo heroes. I think among those 5 stars, there are some that are treated as being more premium than others. And so when they're looking for a unit to color share with a duo hero, they go for the more premium ones like Hector and not Ursula. And I think what makes some 5-star units more premium is just that they have perf skills on their other slots besides their weapons. Like Hector has a perf A slot, for example. I think it could also just be when a unit like leads a banner, like on a banner trailer, like Yunaka, for example, just recently. I think that would be an example of like a more premium 5-star if they're leading the banner. That's my leading theory right now for why we got Hector on this August banner instead of Ursula. And that'll be good to know for later, because if we're trying to predict who's going to color share with duos and harmonized in the future, then it'll be good to know that. There's not much else to say about this August banner, so I'm going to move on. Next up we have October. I predicted that down there, and it was surprisingly pretty much correct. This is one that I definitely would have gotten right if I had refreshed it back then, because the only thing that I had wrong here was that they ran Ursula here instead of Hector. This was the first time I predicted a jump scare rerun character on colorless, so in this case they brought back Duo Asker to fill out colorless, to be with Tiki. And yeah, if you don't know, they never run 4-star focuses with duos or harmonized units, and so that's how we figured that Tiki was going to have to run with some other extraneous, like, rerun character that has already been on a double special heroes banner before. I think I threw out, like, Duo Hilda as a possibility back in the video, but they actually, so they did Asker, which was surprising to me just because Asker is still a pretty new unit. He came out within the last year. Like, he was on a double special heroes banner, like, very recently, so I was definitely surprised to see him in particular. Otherwise, everything here appears to be in order. We got our 2 4-stars on red. We had Bernadetta and Shamir. I said Anna was more likely than Ephraim, and so they did Anna. I was correct about that. That is what I'm notating on the graphic there. When I have, like, one head that's larger than the other, I'm saying that Anna is more likely than Ephraim. But anyway, so that's October. We can move on. Finally, in November, we always get a double special heroes banner in November to coincide with Black Friday, and I predicted that lineup right there, and it was more or less correct. Things start to fall apart here, understandably, because when you're predicting banners so far out, things start to do that. I will say I'm happy that I got Ira and Emir correct, because I think those are the units that, you know, like the duos and the harmonized units, those are the ones that people are really looking out for the most on the forecast, I think. So we got those 2 right. And here you can kind of see what I mean as far as the premium units that are, or I should say the 5-star units that are more premium than other ones, because, like, for example, Ira is color sharing with Eliwood. Eliwood has perf skills, and then Emir is color sharing with Lysithea, and Lysithea also has a perf skill. So I really think I'm onto something here. I think from now on we're going to see them, if they can help it, they're going to want the duos and the harmonized units to run with the more premium 5-star units. An example of a 5-star unit that would not be premium enough is Sayuri, who was conspicuously absent on this banner. We got Duo Thor in November instead of Sayri, which was just super random, and there was no way to predict that that would happen. It could just be that they wanted the November banner to sell better, so they threw on Duo Thor. I believe she was on the November banner last year, so maybe they just wanted to do that again because it made a lot of money. And yeah, when it comes to these like random like reruns that come out of nowhere, like I usually don't try to reflect that possibility on the forecast because it's just so unpredictable. I feel like if I was trying to account for that scenario every single time, then the forecast would just get messier and messier and less helpful. However, on green, something kind of interesting is happening. So we got Ephraim, and we did not get Ferdinand. I thought we would get Ferdinand there because he would have been like our second 4-star focus. We usually get 2 4-star focuses per banner. But what I suspect is happening is that since Ephraim is a more premium 5-star, since he has perf skills, I think they don't want to run those units with 4-star specials. I think that's kind of what's happening here. And so instead of Ferdinand, we actually got Ivy. So yeah, I think we're going to see like almost like a new classification of 5-star units where they're maybe it's the ones who have perf skills, maybe it's the ones who are banner leads, I don't know. But going forward, I think we're going to see not very many of those units color sharing with 4-star focuses, and we're not going to see a lot of them, or I should say we're going to see the duos usually color sharing with the more premium 5-stars. So yeah, we can go ahead and gray out all of the units that were on the October banner and the November banner. The August ones were already grayed out, and yeah, this is now the forecast that we're working with going forward. We've got a double Special Heroes banner coming up in December in just a couple days, so let's see if we can predict it. I'm predicting Ashe and Flavia on red, Sayri and Katria or Sigurd on blue. On green, I've got Claude and Anna, and then on colorless, I've got Kagero and some mystery colorless unit that they're gonna bring back to rerun again. So there's a couple things going on here. I think the most notable thing is just that we have Anna potentially rerunning just 2 months after her debut, which I'm almost certain would make her the earliest rerun on a double Special Heroes banner ever. For a long time, they would usually not push like past like 4 months of recency, if that makes sense. They wouldn't rerun units that were like more than 4 months old, and then it was 3 months old, and now we're here. Basically, this has happened because every single double Special Heroes banner, like ever, this has been the most consistent rule. Every single one has always had 2 new duos on it. New as in they have not rerun on a double Special Heroes banner before. So in December, the next 2 that are in the lineup are Kagero and Anna, and it just so happens that Anna just debuted 2 months ago, so that's how we got here. Claude obviously is a very premium 5-star. He's got his perf skills, so I think he's a safe prediction to be with Anna. And as for colorless, I really don't know who the jump scare unit is going to be. I have Duo Nina on there, but I think it could be somebody even more recent, like Elise. Maybe they'll do Asker again. Who knows? It could be anyone. It doesn't have to be a duo either, necessarily. I think as long as it's like some premium colorless unit, I think they're a valid option. If you're waiting for an opportunity to pull for Kagero, then you probably won't be disappointed. You'll notice that I have 3 4-stars on this banner, and that's just because I've kind of given up on the 2 4-star unit per banner rule. I think it's been broken like in half of the recent banners, so I'm kind of over it. I think if a banner ends up having 1 4-star focus or 3, then that's just how it goes. On the graphic there, I have Katria as being more likely than Sigurd, but I could go either way. I just figured maybe Katria is more likely because they want to have her color sharing with a non-premium 5-star, which would be Sayri in this case, and I think all the upcoming 5-stars, like Sigurd, Tamara, and Selgius, I think those are all examples of like the more premium 5-stars, so they would want to pair Katria up with Sayri while they still can. But Sigurd in December is still a possibility, so I have him on there as well. That's the December banner. Let's move on to February, where everything starts to fall apart. We're actually in a crisis right now with the double Special Heroes predictions because, I mean, this is really unprecedented. We get a double Special Heroes banner every year in February. I don't think we've ever not gotten one in February. And yet, here we are. We have our February banner lined up, and it certainly appears that we're going to get both Sanaki and Byleth color sharing on red, even though both those units will be relatively new in February. We've also got Sigurd or Katria color sharing with Tamara or Zelgius. We got Ferdinand and Heather, and then we got La Rochelle and Flame. Yeah, so like when it comes to the forecast like graphic here, I just I'm just writing down what the forecast is going to have in store for us if things go the way they are now, right? So if things don't change and nothing unprecedented happens, then this is what we're looking at. I will say though, personally, I think it's most likely that they're going to do something about this, because I really don't think they're going to let Sanaki and Byleth color share in February so soon after their debuts. I feel like it's just too high value of a banner at that point for such new units. They could either skip the February banner and go to April, or maybe just March. They could just run one new duo for the first time ever. Maybe Sanaki will be there and not Byleth. I really don't know. I think either one of those solutions would basically work. I mean, what's basically happened is that now the double Special Heroes banners at this rate are always going to have at least one duo that is only 2 months old. And I just feel like IS probably doesn't want that to continue indefinitely. So I think they're going to do something about it. They're going to do something to slow down how recent these reruns are getting. But even still, when I run the numbers and I just come up with a forecast, this is what I have. Let me know what you guys think. Are there any heroes here that you're looking forward to pulling for? Are you happy or sad about their potential rerunning candidates? I'm personally looking out for Sanaki, and it would be fantastic if she color shared with Byleth, but I'm not hopeful for that. It's a little too good to be true, I think. I hope this video was helpful. Subscribe here on YouTube for more Fae content. Follow on Twitch to catch the reactions and the summons as they happen live. And join the Discord to stay up to date on everything going on. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a nice holiday.